I gotta say, I'm a pretty big fan of the Clone Wars animated series, and from what I've seen of Rebels, though I've only seen season one, I enjoyed it. But after the Bad Batch, I was kind of like, you know, maybe the Star Wars animation is starting to slip a little bit. But then Tales of the Jedi came out, and yeah, I gotta say, though it was kind of a mixed bag, I enjoyed most of it. A lot of it seems like deleted scenes of like Clone Wars or Phantom Menace or the prequel movies like that, and it ties into them nicely, giving us some like filling in the missing pieces. Oh, like I've said, I feel like Star Wars really needs to move forward. Maybe jump ahead a couple hundred years, so you don't have to rely on, these old characters that, while a lot of them have more to do, like Count Dooku. We got the little missing pieces there, and Ahsoka. I guess we kind of got a couple more scenes with Ahsoka that we didn't know about. A lot of it in this era of Star Wars, uh, it's kind of run its course, I think. But that's a conversation for a different day. Today I'm gonna be talking about all six of the episodes that came out. These episodes were not that long, but I kind of liked that. Being a fan of Adventure Time, I'm not adverse to short form storytelling. Episode one is Ahsoka's origin story. So there's really not much here. It was just kind of like baby Ahsoka um, hunting this cat. She finds out she's a Force user. It's really kind of bland in my opinion. And I was like, oh, is the rest of the series going to be like this? But then I was like, well, it's not that much of an investment considering it's six short episodes. But yeah, episode one, not that great. I give it a C minus. It's probably the worst of the series, which sucks because this is the one they put first. Though I get it because it's like in chronological order. So episode two, this is my cap by the way. What did you think of episode two? He thought it was better. So episode two is a lot better than episode one in my opinion. It focused on a young Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn. That the voice actors were not that good. Considering they had Liam Neeson in episode three, like why not just have him pretend to be a little bit younger? Like it's called voice acting. Doctor Who people do it all the time. But yeah, I think besides that, the episode was pretty solid. I like how this kind of showed the beginning of Count Dooku's dark path, because he was willing to full strangle that guy. Kind of kinky, if you ask me, but it kind of shows his slow, gradual fall from the light side. And that's kind of the point of this episode. You don't really get to care much about the other people, like the hostages or the bad guys. They're just kind of generic, but overall, we enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give episode two a B minus. So episode three is kind of set in the same timeline as episode two, I presume. So this one has Count Dooku team up with not Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu. Again, the voice is a little off, but it works. I like how this one kind of shows Count Dooku is kind of more of a free thinker than Mace Windu. Mace Windu often, at least in the Clone Wars series, represents the bureaucracy that goes with being a Jedi. So it kind of shows like the early seeds of Count Dooku disagreeing with the Jedi Council, I guess, and Mace Windu is more of a personification of that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's kind of on the same level as episode two. I'm gonna give that one a B minus. So episode four would probably be my favorite one. I'm gonna give that one an A, um, because yeah, this is kind of the thing I've been waiting for. I feel like, well, Phantom Menace is a horrible movie, but sorry, I just have to say that every chance I get. But a way they could have connected that to the other two movies in the trilogy, the prequel trilogy, because to me, the big time jump and Dooku then appearing out of nowhere in episode two kind of sets two and three away from episode one. A really good way of introducing that would have him be a character in episode one, being a Jedi and showing his fall, and in episode two he's the bad guy. But yeah, like that should have been this episode. Like this episode should have been that. It shows Dooku completely committing to the dark side after the death of Qui-Gon Jinn, where they actually had Liam Neeson voice him in this time. So, I guess he can't voice a version of him that's like 10 years younger, apparently. But yeah, Yaddle finds out that he's been working with Darth Sidious over here. I love Ian McDormand, by the way, if that's how you pronounce his name. I love him as the Emperor. He's such a campy performance that if he played it straight, it wouldn't work. Because the Emperor's such a like maniacal, mustache twirling villain. Ian McDormand has to give him that campy personality. But yeah, anyway, Yaddle finds out that he has been working with Count Dooku, and first off, she talks normally. Like, I thought this was just Yoda's species thing. Like, the Yoda people, they all talked backwards, but I guess it's just him. Or maybe they'll talk backwards and Yaddle's the weird one because she talks normally. Maybe she's the weirdo. That's never really shown because they're the only two who have been shown speaking as yet. Yeah, I don't know. Yaddle's kind of being a dumbass here because she didn't really send backup. She just went by herself. Um, if I was Yaddle, I would have sent backup. But yeah, she dies. But she doesn't go out like a bitch. She fights to the very end. So you gotta give Bryce Dallas Howard some credit there. That was her, I didn't know that was her voice till the credits. But yeah, rest in peace, Yaddle. And Count Dooku has officially become Darth Dooku, or whatever the fuck his name is, I forgot. Episode 5. I really liked episode 5. It was about Ahsoka learning how to defend herself against clone troopers, which was a lesson by Anakin because he's like, you're not gonna face normal stormtroopers. I mean, you're not gonna face normal battle droids who make funny remarks for some reason. You're gonna face these you're gonna face bigger enemies, bigger threats. So he puts her up against these clone troopers. And, that kind of shows that she's prepared when the clone troopers try to offer during the Siege of Mandalore. So yeah, this kind of filled in the blanks as to why she survived, but all these other people didn't. Like, the guy with the big head, or the other guy with like the weird mouth. I don't know their names. Who knows? I'm not a Star Wars nerd. So the one thing I would say, and this is more of a Clone Wars problem than like this. It's kind of a this problem. Anakin in this show and the Clone Wars is nothing like Anakin in the movies. Now I think that's a good thing, story-wise, because Anakin in the movies was a whiny bitch. I can say that word on YouTube. He was a whiny bitch, and in this he's like the cool heroic type, like swashbuckling action hero. Um, but yeah, in the prequels he's just a whiny little bitch. So continuity-wise, it kind of upsets me. But at least I didn't have to spend 7 seasons of the Clone Wars with said whiny bitch. Okay, episode 6, another good episode. This is after Order 66, and Padme dies of sadness because, you know, fuck whole kids, apparently. That always bothered me. Also, about the prequels, is like, okay, episode 1 and 2, Padme's kind of a badass, strong-willed, independent. Episode 3, she's just in love with Anakin, and, him turning to the dark side was so bad that she stopped living. It's like, always felt like her in episode 1 and 2, his whole personality wasn't completely tied to Anakin. She had some self-respect. She cared about the realm, or what she cared about space, politics, and stuff. I always thought like her dying of sadness was a little bit of out of character, especially because she has kids, and you'd think she'd care about her kids, and who cares? Anyway, Padme died of sadness, and Ahsoka was there at a funeral, and it's actually a really, really sad scene because Ahsoka's like, she was my friend, and that was just tragic, man. Poor Ahsoka. She lost everybody. She thinks Anakin's dead, Padme's dead. She thinks like I don't know if she thinks Obi-Wan's dead or not. Like all of her friends are dead, basically. Um, So yeah, and then she kind of runs away to this random planet with people who are slightly less annoying than her sisters from the Clone Wars. And one of them's like, hey, Sith guy, who's not really a Sith, come over here and kill this Jedi, and I get some money. And the Sith, who's not really a Sith, is like, I'm gonna kill you instead, for some reason. And then they have this really cool kind of like Sergio Leone style Western shootout thing, and she kills him. Pretty badass. Uh, Honestly, like I could just go through like a whole movie of Azoka taking down Inquisitors. That's what they're called, Inquisitors. Yeah, I'd watch a whole movie of that. Anyway, um, very good way to end the series. So is that yeah, she can't just sit around and do nothing. She has to start a rebellion. Rebellion. Huh? Where have I heard that before in Star Wars spin-off TV shows? Anyway, that's what I thought of episodes 1 through 6. Best one was episode 4. Worst one was episode 1, and then the other one was kind of somewhere in the middle. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this one down in the comments below. I hope you liked it. Um, and what are you guys thinking of Andal so far? Because once that ends, I'll probably do a video on that as well. I'll also be doing videos on The Crown, Black Panther, To Kill a Mockingbird, maybe Yellowstone, maybe not, I don't know. So subscribe below if you're into any of that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.